Expressions of time with different tenses. Verb tenses review. In this lesson, you will remember which time expressions to use with which verb tenses. Time expressions are words that show time. Sometimes it's more than one word. Use these words to talk about routines and habits. These are adverbs of frequency. Never, rarely, sometimes, often, normally, usually, always. There are others, of course, but these are the most common. For example, to talk about a present habit, we can say, I often exercise. We can also use these words to talk about a past habit. When I was in college, I rarely exercised. Notice the different verb tenses in these sentences. The first one is the present simple tense, and the second one is the past simple tense. So we can use adverbs of frequency with the present simple and past simple. We just have to think about whether we're talking about now or the past. Use these words to talk about right now, the present moment. Right now, at this moment, and currently. The sun is shining. It's not raining right now. At this moment, I'm recording a review video for my students. What verb tense is this? It's the present progressive tense. We use the present progressive tense to talk about the present moment, right now. What about past moments? For past situations, you can use these types of words. Last night, last week, last month, last year, in 2010, in 2015, yesterday, 3 days ago, 2 months ago, 2 years ago, and when. These are not the only words, but these are some common words we use to talk about past situations. For example, yesterday, I was walking home from work when the sunset caught my eye. As I admired its glow, I felt hopeful. You see two different verb tenses here. The past progressive and the past simple tense. We can also talk about the past before the past using the past perfect. When we do this, we often use a complex sentence. That's a sentence with two clauses. These are some common words we use when we write sentences with the past perfect. For example, Joanna was late to a dinner date with her friends. By the time she got to the restaurant, her friends had already finished their meals. Here, you see two different verb tenses, the past simple tense and the past perfect tense. Remember, the past perfect tense has a very special use. It's to talk about something in the past that happened before something else in the past. So we often use it with the past simple. Sometimes we want to talk about past experiences without mentioning a specific time. In that case, we can use these words with the present perfect. Ever, never, already, yet, still, in my life, in her life, and 3 times, 4 times, many times, several times. For example, Melissa has traveled to Mexico many times in her life. Here, we use the present perfect tense. This is a past experience without the mention of a specific past time. Sometimes we want to talk about something that started in the past and continues now. When we do that, we can use for with a length of time, for 3 years, for 5 months, for an hour, and since with a specific past time. Since this morning, since 3 o'clock, since yesterday morning. For example, Jane and Ron have been living in Colorado for 20 years. What verb tense is this? This is the present perfect progressive tense. We can also use the present perfect to talk about something that started in the past and continues now, like we do here in this sentence. Jane and Ron have known each other since they were children. But in this case, we use the present perfect because know is a non-action verb. Finally, when we want to talk about the future, we can use expressions like these. In 2 weeks, in 1 month, in the future, this evening, tomorrow, tonight, soon, this weekend. For example, this weekend, my friends and I are going to go to the beach for a picnic. Here we use be going to, but we can also use will, may, and might. All right, that was a quick review of time expressions. Now you know more about which time expressions to use with which verb tenses.